There is someone that barely answer your text and give you attention, but they lives in your head rent-free. And then on the other side, there is someone lovely that always responds you back, always there for you, and you feel nothing for them. And this is not chemistry choosing for you. This is a much dumber system. And once you see it working, you cannot unsee it. And we're going to talk about that today. There is something that I'm going to tell you right now that's going to change your whole vision on how dating works. And this is kind of like the same system as slot machine. Like inserting is stimulant. What does that mean? It means that something that is not certain, something that you're not sure about, will give you more emotions, more stimuli than something that is certain. So if I go back to my example that I gave you at the beginning of the video, that person that sometimes replies, sometimes not, that is sometimes there, sometimes not, sometimes care, sometimes does not care, this is uncertainty. And this is something that you care about. This is something somehow kind of like exciting. This is kind of like a slot machine. When people go to the casino to play the slot machine, they don't know if they will win or not. But this is exciting to play. You know, this is exciting to see the things happening and you have a chance to win, you know. And then you lose, but you're like, okay, let me try again to see if I will win. That's the same thing with that person that is kind of like onto you sometimes, not onto you sometimes, because you're like, okay, next time that's gonna work, like they're gonna be into me. There is something to win, there is something to earn. And this is the same thing when they actually act towards you, when they actually send you a message, spend time with you, etc. This is activation. This gives you the little bit of like, you can win, you know, you can have that person. This is how it could happen. And this gives you, again, more emotion. That's something that is predictable. Because again, something that is predictable, you don't have to think there is not that much that excitation, which means that for the other person that will always reply, always be nice, or will be there for you, there is no unexpected. There is no something special. There is not that. Of course, there is kind of like special things on the act that they can do, but there is not that unexpected of like, oh, they finally reply, or like, oh, they finally give me interest. Not everyone is working like that, of course, but this is the system behind like why you are kind of like attracted to someone that does not always care about you, and that when someone actually cares about you, the boring person, I would say, this is how I like to say it, because people call them boring, that actually is present for you and answering, etc. You find that this is not that much interesting because, well, it's predictable, and well, as human, things that are like predictable are not that much exciting. So now I'm gonna give you one simple test to do, and it takes like 10 seconds, maybe 30 or up to 1 minute, depending how much you think about it, to be clear about that. So that's pretty simple. Think about the person you're most likely dating, talking to. That person could either be like that person that is, you know, always there for you, always responding, or that could be the other type of person that will, I would not say not really care about you, but that's unpredictable, that will be there sometimes, not there sometimes, there sometimes. Okay, you take those two type of person, or like the one that you're talking with, you get the point. Now, let's imagine that you wake up tomorrow and you have a text from that person, the one you're talking with, and they tell you that, okay, they know exactly what they want. They want like a relationship with you. They are like certain, they want like 100% like exclusive relationship with you, to go with you 100%. Like they're very clear about that. They're literally asking you out. We're not going to talk about the fact that they ask over a text or whatever. We don't really care about that. But the point is that if that person's like tell you explicitly they want a full relationship with you, like the whole thing, like they're not asking you out, but like almost, how would you feel? Think about that. Like, how would you feel? Would you feel actually happy and excited to be like, oh, that would be nice, that's something that would be nice? Or would you feel that not that much excited, being like, okay, that's kind of like unexpected, or that's kind of like weird, or you start to find ways to be like, I'm not really sure about that. Find ways to be like, okay, maybe that's a good thing that they want, but there is this and there is that. So you see the two different things. If you start to be like excited and see this as a good news, well, that's a good thing. If you start to be like, okay, that's good, but there is like weird stuff, like this is unexpected, or you start to find them flaws or like downsides or stuff like that, this is also a signal. So this is like a small test that you can do, and that will easily tell you how you actually deeply feel about that other person depending on their behavior. And there is no right or wrong answers. It's all about you and how you feel about that person, and how will you feel if they tell you that based on like their previous behavior. You can be like, okay, I can see myself long term with that person, I could see myself in a relationship or not. So that's a small test that will help you know where you stand with that person. Now, the one thing to also know about this is that you will find someone either boring or exciting based on your own baseline. Like, this is not something that could be said like generalistically speaking, oh, this person is boring, this person is like that. It's really based on yourself. It's like per person. Like there is no like magic rule for everyone, which means that based on your baseline, if you find someone boring and you're more, I would say, attracted by someone that is a little bit less consistent, that is more like, okay, there is up and downs, like the roller coaster things, is because your system is used to that. It's most likely because in the past you already dealt with people like that, or you already had like relationship with people like that, so your system is just used to that. So this is how your system is reacting to that type of person, which means that to be able to see more value into someone that will be like more boring, you need a little bit more exposure. Like, it's not gonna change like that. Like, you cannot change yourself in like 5 minutes. So what I mean by that, I mean that if you are like more used to people that will be more uncertain, more like exciting, but that will not necessarily work long term, and that the people that you find boring are actually like reliable, but you're not used to go to them, you will need time of dealing with someone that is boring to actually see that those kind of like quiet and calm feelings could also be nice and more suitable for something long term, because you don't have all the anxiety that comes with it, you don't have like the uncertainty that comes with it, etc., etc. You have like the peace of being with someone that is reliable. But this will not change like again in 5 minutes. So you have to put yourself out there. You have to expose yourself to be like, let me try with that boring person for like a week or two and see how it goes and see how I feel. And I can guarantee you that this will change your point of view about someone that is like exciting at first, but then for like a relationship, like a serious relationship, long-term relationship, that will most likely not work. While trying to go with like the boring person at first might feel like a little bit boring, a little bit less exciting, but you could better construct something long-term with that person. So keep that in mind and try to like expose yourself more to something that you might feel is not what you usually go with, but you will see that it could actually help you to build something more sustainable long-term. So yeah, the one thing to remember from that video is that the next time that you feel that you're in a situation where you are talking with someone that is not really certain, like, or not really into you, or just every day in the week and sometimes you don't hear about them for like a long period of time, think about all of that. Think about the fact that, okay, maybe this gives you like excitement, but in the long term, excitement does not stay. Like, long term excitement only lasts for like a few days, weeks, month at maximum. So keep that in mind, and that the boring person might be a better suit, and you have to get used to it if you're already used to like the excitement type of people. And do the small test I give you, like to see if how you feel about someone. Of course, if you just dated or you just met that person and talk for like a few days, it's not gonna be the best, but still think about it. Think about that, like, how can I see myself with that person in a long-term relationship? How it will be like after a few months, a few weeks, a few months, maybe a few years. So I'm not telling you to start to imagine yourself like getting married and having a family with that person, but just thinking long term, if that's your goal when you're looking for someone, will help based on the previous behavior of that person. So if this video was somehow helpful, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. I see you soon for another one, and until then, take care and drink your water.